Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to a thrilling night of racing like no other. Tonight, it's championship night for Monday Night Madness, presented by Oshweekend Speedway and the Coast to Coast Racing League. The sprint car capital of the world, the iconic Knoxville Raceway, the best racers for the Rebels and Renegade divisions are ready to battle it out for ultimate glory. In the Rebels division, the tension is at its peak. Joseph Grandy comes in as he looks like he's got this one in the bag. 78 points over Jeff Fitzpatrick. Both drivers eager to claim their first championship on Monday night. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. In the Renegades, the battle even more intense. Patrick Spangler, the seasoned veteran, leading the pack with a narrow 16-point advantage over the skilled racer Blake Chapman. Both team drivers look to continue their legacies in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Welcome to the Knoxville Raceway, everyone. We've got a good show for you on hand. We're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you alongside Zach Chapman. Zach will join us in just a little bit, but we're set for a good one. So pretty much Joseph Grandy, all 100 grand really needs to do is pretty much start this race, and he's got the championship all wrapped up. But you've got Jeff Fitzpatrick then 78 points behind. You see as well on the right side parts of your screen, Joseph Grandy has raced in every race so far this season. His worst finishes are 5th and 23rd. Jeff Fitzpatrick has one less start on the year. His worst finish is 13th. But don't count out Fitzpatrick just yet. He's been chasing Grandy week after week, and if Grandy has a tough finish where he finishes last and Fitzpatrick is in heat race number 2, Jeff Fitzpatrick could possibly pull off a stunner. But we're ready for some high-speed action, some heart-pounding moments, and adrenaline-fueled battles all on this monumental championship night. We're set to go for heat race number 1. Heat 1 is brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing bodies produced by Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Here's your starting lineup for heat race number 1. On the pole position is the mayor, Steve Bixler, and to the next of him is the detective, Steven Spees. Row number 2 on the inside, it's Soupy, Dan McLaren, and on the outside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, that's Brandon Dittmer. As the rest of the field rolls off, Steve Maurer, Joseph Grandy, and Steven Spees also a part of this. Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, with the broadcast paint scheme as he starts the outside of row number 1. Everyone's just trying to figure out where they start. A lot of heat EOLs coming on in after what went down last week at Fallujah Speedway Park. Mike Cranmer, Joseph Grandy, Steve Bixler, Steve Maurer, pretty much 4 of those guys, 5 of the guys, if you count Steven Spees as well, are taking EOLs. Again, it's championship night here on Monday night in the Coast to Coast Racing League. A lot of things are up at stake. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat, and we're so glad you could join us tonight. This will determine the inside row. Heat 2 determines the outside row. All the heat lineups done via pill draw. Later on, we'll have warm-ups tonight, then our 30-lap feature. If we had over 24 drivers, top 4 would transfer, then a B-lane main for 10 laps. And then the warm-up. But we're set to go. Heat race number 1 underway at Knoxville. Dan McLaren gets away with a good start over Brandon Dittmer. Spider Monkey looks to take a peek underneath for the race lead as they're nose to tail entering turn number 1. Dittmer looks underneath on McLaren for the lead. Bixler stuck in 3rd. Joseph Grandy 4th. Steven Spees rounds out the top 5. Dittmer with a peek underneath for the race lead, but McLaren holds him off for right now. We've got Zach Chapman with us. Zach, now bear with me. I am on a delay here. Something's going on my computer. But can you tell us what you're expecting for tonight here in Knoxville?
I mean, for the heat races, I hate to say it, but you're expecting a lot of train racing. The only way you're really going to get a run on somebody is if you diamond center off perfectly and you get enough that you can throw that slider on them. But other than that, you're just trying to get spots in the first lap, you know, and then just let things settle down and hope you're in a good transfer spot.
Steven Spees threw a slide job on Joseph Granny, but doesn't work. Granny tries to counter back. Oh, nearly makes contact with Steve Bixler. Remember, the championship leader come in, but there's some contact with the 55 of Spees. We've got 3 laps to go in Heat 1. Dan McLaren, quickest car on the racetrack, a 15.73 last time by, Zach. Ooh, Dittmer hit the bump and hit the, I forget what you call it. I haven't been in Knoxville in a long, long time. Hit the berm on the infield, so nearly lost it.
Yeah, we are having some great racing back here, though, for the transfer spot with Steven Spees. It's looking real good back there.
Again, everyone makes the show, though, with the car count of just about 14 drivers with us. White flag out, final lap in Heat 1. Dittmer wants to run underneath on McLaren. He had the quickest lap last time by, 15.61. One last shot through 3 and 4 as they come to the checkered flag. Dan McLaren starts on pole for tonight's 30-lap feature. Dittmer second, Bixler third, Spees fourth, Grandy fifth, Maurer sixth. Hello to Scott Thomason, who is watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma, cheering on Jesse Bandy. But now we move things forward to heat race number 2. And Heat 2 is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical, based out of the Hamilton area, the #1 heating and cooling solution in Hamilton, Ontario. Some of the best customer satisfaction. Definitely recommend checking them out. Starting off for the final heat race of the evening, Rich Holland and John Rayner make up row number 1. Cody Graham and Connor Ross, they're on row 2. Mike Cranmer, Dustin Sargent in row 3. Jesse Bandy starts from 4th. For the 4th row, I should say, he starts from P7. Hello to Scott Thomason, watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and cheering on Jesse Bandy. Bandy's got to win this season in Rebels competition. A good race at Lucas Oil earlier on in the year. John Rayner to take the Heat EOL here, so he'll start from the, actually, correction, not a Heat EOL. He takes a feature EOL, so you'll see him in the back later on tonight. But Zach, this grid looks good and good to go. Who are you watching out for here?
I mean, hands-on favorite almost anytime he's in a sprint car is that Bandy boy. I mean, he knows how to drive, but he's got a lot of spots to make up. So I mean, if you're holding the gun to my head, I'm picking Bandy, but you got to watch out for Connor Ross here too, I think.
Lights are off the Steve King Foundation Pace Truck. One more lap to go until we take the green flag. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck, formed to help the dirt track community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers and their teams in case of serious illness, injury, or death. Underway for heat race number 2. As Holland brings the field into turn number 1, Holland came oh so close to win his first ever coast-to-coast racing league event last year. But he's got Daddy's money right behind him. Graham tried to send it in turn 3, but lost a lot of time. Lap 1, led by the 116 of Holland, but Connor Ross all over him in that Gambler 35, Zach.
Yeah, Connor Ross, man, that kid, well, you called him Daddy's money. He knows how to drive. He's got a lot of time in the sim.
Oh, look at this.
Valhalla. Yeah, good sliders going on. We'll see if Connor can pull the crossover here coming out of 2. No, he's going to keep it up high here.
Graham had a shallow entry in turn 1 after making it 3 wide, but Connor's up on the cushion. They're 3 wide again, and Jesse Bandy squirrely in turn number 4. Cody Graham bounces off the wall in turns 1 and 2. Nearly. Is there any room for that on Rich Holland? Oh my goodness, Zach. That is so close.
I'm in Bandy's onboard camera, and this is one of the best races I've ever watched. I mean, you got Bandy back here just trying to find room, and you got those guys up in front of him giving each other no room.
Oh! Leader's touch, and around goes Bandy and Ross. Or Graham and Ross, rather. John Rayner is also involved. And Connor Ross. Graham walking down the leaders, take each other out, except for Dustin Sargent, the Raiders champ. Holland and Bandy go flipping. Mike Cranmer moves up to second. This is astonishing here, Zach. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm too shocked with the way those first couple laps were going. They were racing real close and racing hard, but it's definitely exciting and fun to watch.
White flags out in Heat 2. One more lap to go. Sargent with a 1 second lead on Mike Cranmer. They put a lap on Connor Ross, who's trying to get as many starting positions as he can. Here they come off at turn number 4. As Dustin Sargent takes Heat 2. He'll start from second spot. Mike Cranmer second. John Rayner will come across the line in third in just a moment, and Cody Graham fourth.
Yeah, and that heat could end up being a big deal because Dustin Sargent and Bandy, it looks like, are battling for third in points. So Dustin with the big edge there with the heat race win.
So now we move on to warm-ups. But before we move on to the feature, instead of going to commercial break, let's talk about the big event coming up next week of the Coast to Coast Racing League, and it's on Week 13. It's our Week 13 charity, and we got a lot of things happening around the corner, Zach. We've got a Triple Crown taking place benefiting the Steve King Foundation. Next Monday, we are doing a high-limit sprint car race. Now, how that works is the difference between that on Monday nights, we'll have the Flatline Racing Bodies dice roll to see if the winner of the dash wants to start further back and increase their money. Winner takes home $23.23 plus bonus money in case they want to start further back. And also, we will have the choose rule in place during the feature, so you can choose whatever lane you want. We're definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's something
And
I've
then
heard,
later
I've
on
heard
in the
rumors,
week, yeah,
depending
go ahead.
on how the double up there goes. You know, if the drivers like that and, you know, we have success with it, that may be factored in this in years to come. I really like the way the High Limit Series does that choose cone. I think that's awesome.
And then finally, later on in the week, we've got the Asphalt Series, which will take place all throughout the week. It all begins Sunday with GT3 and Cars Tour, Monday with NASCAR Tour Mods, Tuesdays with Pickups, Wednesday with Xfinity, and Thursday Cup. And then we've got our Dirt Series taking place Tuesday with Midget and Pro Late Models, Wednesday 305, 410, and Street Stock Enduro, Thursday Small and Big Block Modifieds. I can't wait to see how this goes down.
It's going to be a lot of fun. These guys are, I mean, they're a heck of a group of guys. We've raised a lot of money for a lot of different causes, and you even whisper the word charity. You know, you get guys that barely ever race around here come out. I love this league. They're great for that, and I'll 100% be participating in everything next week. That's what I was about to ask you, Marty. I've seen you wheel some of those asphalt cars. You know how to drive. You going to bless us with any of your talent?
I will be racing with you guys on Week 13. I still need to pay my $20 and sign up, which I will be doing. Roger, if you're watching, don't give me a free entry. I will give you $20 for the Steve King Foundation. Oh yeah, that reminds me. $10 per class and $20 to compete in all three towards the Steve King Foundation. I depending on my schedule, I will be racing. In fact, I think I have a free week next week. Let me double check. We've got the checkers on warm-ups. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got a free schedule Monday through Friday, Sunday through Friday, so I think I will likely be racing with you guys. I'm looking forward to it. But we're now focused on this race here. It's time for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field in the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row is Soupy, Dan McLaren in the 88, and Big Money Dustin Sargent in the 77. Row number 2 is the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and Mike Cranmer in car number 70. Row number 3 is the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and the 302 of JR, John Rayner. Row 4, the Detective, Steven Spees in the 55, and Cody Graham in car number 2. Rounding out your top 10 is the 518 and the champ, 100 grand, Joseph Grandy, and Daddy's Money, Connor Ross in the 35. Row number 6, Steve Maurer in the 888, and Rich Holland in the 116. And starting from 13th on the grid this evening is Jesse Bandy. Field rolls off here for 30 laps. And while we wait to take the green flag here, Zach, I want to know who's your pick to win tonight.
Man, I know he normally can hold her down here. He's like me, struggles a little bit when it gets slick, but I think I'm putting my money on Dan McLaren tonight in that 88.
All right, sounds good. I would not be surprised if I saw Big Money won the Rebels race and could go for the Triple Crown that we have. So give me Sargent tonight.
Yeah, I didn't realize he won the C race.
One
That
lap
would
to
make
go
things super exciting.
He's won the last 3 Raiders races as well, so he has been having a lot of fun so far. Field makes their way into turn number 3 and 4. We are set for the Lucy Olson start. Again, so glad you could join us this evening on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for a championship night for the greatest sprint car drivers on iRacing. Dan McLaren, Dustin Sargent, bring us to the green flag, the future of the Renegades, about to battle it out for 30 laps, the sprint car capital of the world. Green is out. Entering turn 3, Big Money underneath on Dan McLaren for the race lead. Brandon Dittmer in third. He looks up on the top shelf, and Dittmer moves up to P2. Field makes their way in turns 1 and 2. Dittmer up on the cushion. Remember, that cushion's going to get thick on throughout this feature. See it on our cushion cam when we have our post-race stuff taking place. McLaren in the lead, but Dittmer wants it badly. Here he goes, Zach, for the spot.
Yeah, Dittmer's been working on his corner entry perfect. I don't think you could slide a sheet of paper in between him and the wall as he goes into corner entry. And he is just getting so much speed on the exit.
It's Slide Job City here at the Knoxville Raceway. Dittmer wants it back. Slideways in turns 1 and 2 like his favorite go-kart track in Knoxville. McLaren fights it back. This is some awesome racing to begin championship night here at the Knoxville Raceway. Dittmer counters it back. And McLaren and Dittmer still wing to wing for the lead. Dittmer with the advantage in turns 1 and 2. McLaren counters once again. This is phenomenal here, but Dittmer bounces off the wall. Caution flag is out. Connor Ross has flipped it, and same with Rich Holland. First Salty Dogs yellow of the night. Let's show you what happened with Daddy's Money, who has lost the top wing like a chicken with his head cut off. Bam. Right into Cody Graham, and Rich Holland was already in the path. Right on board here with Holland in the 116.
Yeah, it looked like to me there, Connor was just going for a little room that wasn't there. He just was trying to be a little bit aggressive. But, I mean, you know as well as I do, you don't get a lot of laps. You got to be aggressive.
That was a very heavy impact, just T-bone. That's not the impact you want, especially in real life, Zach. Driver's side impact.
No, there was a big scary one with Justin Peck the other night at Bridgeport, I believe, and he was lucky to get out of the car in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That happened with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Justin Peck has had a lot of wild rides in this past year. I remember when the All-Stars were at Ransomville, Peck had a wild flip actually after blowing a tire. I actually have a piece of that blown tire in my bedroom. So we've got the field doubled up. First double file restart of the night. We have 2 double file restarts in the Coast to Coast Racing League. McLaren and Dittmer, row number 1, Big Money and Cranmer, row 2. Grandy and Bixler, row 3. Graham and Spees, row 4. Excuse me, Graham and Bandy, row 4. It was Grandy and Bixler, row 3. Graham, Bandy, row 4. Spees and Rayner round out the top 10. Let's watch from the Young Gun Creations as we go into the Mission 22 restart zone. So McLaren holds serve through turns 1 and 2. First guy on the bottom, that is Grandy in the 518, and that may cost him some spots. Remember, he's the champ with Jeff Fitzpatrick not with us this evening. But hey, he still wants a W to end the season right, and most likely Grandy will be with us in the Renegades next season. But you see as well that race for the top spot between McLaren and Dittmer. It's not slide job city yet here, but look at that cushion. It's starting to become like a motocross ramp, Zach.
Yeah, those guys are having trouble in the middle. I can see some of them are hitting the right rear, and it's bouncing the right front up in, and I think it caught Dan McLaren about 2 turns ago, and here we see Dittmer with a big run.
Big slide job from the Spider Monkey to take the lead. McLaren counters it back. You got the race for third as well between Sargent and Grandy. Dittmer's last lap was the quickest of the day so far at a 16:27. Slide job city, crossover city. What else do you expect for the Knoxville Raceway? But McLaren rides the wall in turn 4. Big chance for Dittmer to take the lead. Does McLaren ride in turns 1 and 2? He does both of them ride in. McLaren, excuse me, Dittmer barely bikes it. Caution is out for Cody Graham. And the leader at the line, I want to say, was the Spider Monkey, Zach.
Dan McLaren by less than 1/10 of a second, 0.075 at the line
Wow.
to take the lead.
Here's a look at what happened to Cody. 4 wide and Bandy got hooked. Cody Graham spins. Luckily keeps it off the wall. Stops. I don't even know if he had any major damage from that. Let's take a look. We're right on board with Cody Graham. Maybe just some on the, you see the front wing damage just on the lower front. I don't see anything on the left side, but other than that, I think he's good.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It just looked like to me, Stephen Bixler there, he was trying to come up and, you know, get a better corner entry there for turn 1. Just didn't realize the run Bandy had, and it was 3 wide before he knew it, and then everybody was in the fence. This top 3 at the front, I think any one of them could win this race right now. They're all fast, but don't count out Daddy's Money. He's back up to 6th place as I was looking through the standings.
There's contact. Dustin Sargent just made contact with Dan McLaren, and I think McLaren now has damage on the tail tank bar. Hello to Chad Cote watching. Final restart coming up. 10 in the books this time by with 20 laps to go. Here we go, back to the green. McLaren holds serve. Dustin Sargent first one on the bottom, but he's stuck because Dittmer is hanging out up top. Top 3 nose to tail. There goes the Spider Monkey with the slide job in 3, but we got contact, and that is Connor Ross cartwheeling in turn 3. Mike Cranmer has lost the top wing as well. Caution comes back out, and we go single file for the rest of this race. Connor, unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to get that one back uprighted. I think he's turtled, and he is. That is the end of the night for the Gambler 35. Here's a look. Oh, just hard racing, just squashed, and look at that. Oh my goodness! Did you see Mike Cranmer, Zach? How he was riding the fence and then the guardrail came out there, and it just, physics just immediately changed everything?
Yeah, it just threw him to a sudden stop. Good thing we're in the sim, and that wasn't in real life. We may have had some trouble out there.
Yes, thank goodness. Look at this. Look at that ride for Connor. Like, we've seen a lot of wild rides at Knoxville. I think the most notable guy with the wild rides is Steve Maurer. But Mike Grammer may have just stopped everyone with this one.
Yeah, I mean, the top 5 get the transfer spot. I believe they were battling 4th, so 3 wide. You know, nobody's going to back out of that. Everybody wants it. We're almost at the halfway point, so everybody's going hard out here.
Yes, top 5 as long as their IL is under 200. And everyone, from the looks of it, actually, we do not know. Normally, they put it on the pit notes on who's ineligible, but I don't see anyone ineligible as of right now. I think everyone's under 200, but I'm not too sure. Stack up from McLaren on the restart as we're back to green. Get single file, rest of the race. First driver underneath is Steven Spies. Grandy may have not even seen that coming. Here he goes for third on Dustin Sargent. Grandy for second. McLaren shuts the door. What a restart from Joseph Grandy. And what a move from Dimmer. That's 4 abreast for the lead off for turn 4. And Dimmer comes away clean for now. Holy smokes, Zach.
You got to love the confidence of Grandy. Championship in the pocket, but he's not giving up. He wants this last win, and he wants it bad. You can see it.
See Dustin bounce off the wall in turn 1. Grandy still there in 2. Joseph Grandy start for the 9th position. He's up 7 spots in the 2nd, but he's not the biggest mover. Why? Jesse Bandy's up 8 in the 5th. He races Stephen Spies for that 5 spot.
We know those Vanderbilt cars, they get faster as the race goes on. All he needs is a good caution, and Bandy's right in this for the win, too.
Randy tries the slider line. Remember, that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that is how he won last week at Fallujah, by testing the slider line out, and it worked out really well, stunning Rich Holland.
Yeah, Grandy, I mean, he's definitely got the reputation. He is aggressive. He does not like to run second. So, I mean, if he can find a way, he is going to find a way, and he's going to go win this race.
So everyone pretty much spread throughout the field. Closest battle we watch closely, Maurer and Bixler for 8. There goes Bixler. Slide jobs Maurer into the position. Those are 2 Maurer Farm Management teammates and 2 Salty Dog teammates, too. Better not wreck each other, else it's going to be interesting in the retirement home this evening. Grandy, though, still, he's trying everything to close. Oh, Dittmer got sideways in 3 and 4. Dittmer, I think, biked it in turn 3. Car went out from underneath and was able to make the save, Zach. We've got 11 to go here in Knoxville.
Yeah, it looked like Dittmer got in the wall pretty hard. You got to wonder if maybe the right front's bent, but he's not afraid. He's throwing it right back up there again. He knows if you want to win this race, you're going to do it up top.
Dustin Sargent in 3rd. Now he's not racing Mike Cranmer for the spot. Mike's currently a lap down. As they make their way down the back straight, you can hear, if you listen closely to the audio for the fans at home, you can hear a lot of sparking because they're all up next to that cushion. They're trying to avoid biking it. It's just getting really tough for the drivers out here to hang on to these 360 sprints.
I'm telling you, Marty, don't look now, but Bandy P4.
Cody Graham tried to slide by McLaren. McLaren counters back. Bandy up on the wall. Yep, he's up 9 spots in the 4th position. That is a great point. We still have that race for the lead. Dittmer, though, 700ths better than Joseph Grandy last time by. 518 looks underneath. The slider line's just not working out at the moment here, Zach. It seems like the high side's where you want to be as we've got 7 to go.
It just seems like if you hit that bump perfectly on entry, the right rear just hooks up and you get that drive off the corner. And when you throw that slider, you just don't get it. But I mean, the danger's up there if you make contact in the middle of the corner and you enter too high. I mean, you're going to bike it and lose it. So they're on the edge up there.
Absolutely. Randy's still trying, not giving up. Last time by, though, he was a 10th better. Oh, but that's a mistake there. Got the wall in turn 4. Dittmer allows to open the gap up again by 600ths that time. As 5 fingers went up in the air from Barney with 5 to go. And Dittmer in the wall entering turn 3. 4 left. Even laps last time by at 1680. Oh, that's a great point. He may be able to close in.
Yeah, he is coming.
And Grandy another send in turn number 3 with 3 laps to go. Dustin Sargent last time by ran the same lap as Grandy and Dittmer. Grandy the better car by 400ths over the leader last time by. We're coming to the 2 sticks, 2 laps to go. It's a 3-car race for the win at the Knoxville Raceway. Is it going to be Dittmer? Is it going to be Grandy? Or does Sargent pull off the Stone Cold Stunner? About to find out off at turn 2 and down the back chute. Grandy not the best exit. Caution for John Rayner, and we're headed to overtime. Oh, baby.
This is a
just when
ending.
Brandon Dittmer had this thing won. Yeah, just when Dittmer had this thing won. Hang on to your seats, folks. Because we had 4 wide on the restart lap. It could get crazier. Here's what happened off at turn 2. Maurer came down on a Rayner. Oh, he hits the barrel, loses the right front and the top wing. This is going to be the restart of Brandon Dittmer's life here, coming on up here, Zach. And he only has one, I believe, one Rebel win in the Coast to Coast Racing League. And that one win was when he won the championship, I think, last year. Not last season, but 1 year ago.
You never want to see a guy lose one at the end of the race. I mean, Dittmer's drove his tail off. He was on Dan McLaren the whole race, waiting for Dan to mess up, throwing sliders back and forth. He's earned this, but boy, Grandy, man, he's there licking his lips, Bandy in fourth, licking his lips. This is going to get exciting, Marty.
Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace truck. We're ready to go to the green flag once again. Brandon Dittmer, Joseph Grandy, Dustin Sargent battling for the win before the yellow flag came out. But could something crazy happen to set us up to one final restart? But we're about to find out here, and you know what? I'm going to do the same call that I did for the Gary Montgomery Memorial at the Outlaw Speedway. You ready? Race fans, it's time to sit down and hold on to your seats because these men, by the grace of God and 700 horses, are ready to go to war. Here we go for overtime. And a great jump from Brandon Dittmer in turns 1 and 2. Grandy and Sargent keep it, baby, locked down on the bottom. Bandy, the first one up on the top, doesn't have a lot of time. Dan McLaren forces his way to the 4th position. Caution flag is back out. It's for Jesse Bandy. We'll try one more time. And here's a look at what happened to the Vanderbilt Master. Came down McLaren. Oh, he just lost the air on the front wing. Man, and then that bike hump put him up in the air. Those are iRacing physics for sure, Zach.
Yeah, it looked like he thought McLaren was going to try to enter in a little lower on the bottom, but McLaren tried to enter in that middle and then rolling into the bottom as the middle of the turn.
You know,
and, it's just iRacing glitch there, I think. You know, I mean, you're going to bike up a little bit in real life, but I don't think it should have sent him like that. That's just honest contact, good hard racing.
You know, we just saw a replay on board with Jesse Bandy. There wasn't even any contact. That was a netcode situation. So one more restart. And you got to give credit to Brandon Dittmer on that restart. He was about to win that race over Grandy and Sargent because they were racing for the second position.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Putting himself in the wall. I mean, he won that on the restart. He got an amazing jump. We'll have to see if he can do it again here, or if Grandy and the other boys got it timed out. But Dittmer did not want to see that caution, that's for sure.
So again, Brandon Dittmer the leader, Joseph Grandy is second, Dustin Sargent third, Steven Spees fourth, Dan McLaren fifth, Cody Graham sixth, Steve Bixler seventh, Steve Maurer eighth, John Rayner ninth, Jesse Bandy 10th, Mike Cranmer 11th, Rich Holland 12th, and 13th belongs to Connor Ross. Here we go. Final restart of the Rebels season underway. Sargent up on the cushion. Can he get the drive off of turn 2? Is this 3 wide for second? Wild moves from Dustin, but it's risky at the same time. They are still 3 wide off turn 4. White flag is out, 1 to go for Brandon Dittmer. Tries to play defensive on the bottom. Sargent still dances with the double. This one's not over yet into turn 3 and 4. Grandy and Sargent race for second off the corner. Brandon Dittmer to the checkered flag. First win of the season. Oh no! He ran out of gas! He ran out of gas! Dustin Sargent with the stone cold stunner! 800th of a second? What the hell just happened? Joseph Grandy, your champion of the Rebels. Dittmer, heartbroken, and has to settle for third. Now I can see, Zach, why he was running the bottom instead of the top, because he was low on fuel.
I'm in shock, Marty. I thought for sure he had that. I think for sure if we don't have that last caution, he doesn't run out of gas. That last caution killed him.
If he doesn't get that last caution, he wins. Absolutely. Let's get a better angle and see at what point he started running out. See if I want to get an angle of the front stretch. Let's see here. This is off turn 4. He's coming to the finish. Where does he lose power? Is it right here? He looks good. He looks good. And he's out of gas right there. Unbelievable. You gotta be kidding me.
Right on corner exit, you hear it start to sputter in the onboard cam. That's, man, my heart goes out to him. That's a tough way to lose that.
Wow. The first moment it started to sputter, bam. I'm speechless. I cannot believe it. And at the same time, Zach, I am in distraught. You want to know why?
Why?
My face is on that car. I was about ready to celebrate that one. But let's begin with Brandon Dittmer here. Brandon, that is, I think that may be the most heartbreaking moment I've ever seen in the Coast to Coast Racing League. And no, I'm not being biased because my face is on that car.
Oh, man.
I'm assuming you did not want that caution to come out.
No, and I didn't want the caution after the caution to come out. I looked after that initial green-white checker came out. I had 2 exact laps of fuel left, and after that next caution, I had a lap and a half. So I rode the bottom and half throttled it as much as I could. Yeah, and just coming out of 4, I just went.
We're looking at one of the wildest moments of this race where you guys were 4 wide off turn 4 to take the race lead. How much fun was that racing tonight? Was the racing, I should say.
Oh, it was so much fun. Everybody was racing clean together up front. We were all just making sure we were not only jockeying for position, but making sure we were making clean passes as well. It was probably one of the better, more fun races I've had in this league.
Who do you want to give shout outs to on this run?
You for the broadcast, Rod for Coast to Coast, everybody behind the scenes making this run. You for the inspiration of the scheme, Training Wheels Racing, and Speed Shop 51 for the setup.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. Great job all season long, and a great run tonight, man.
Have a good one, Marty.
Heart goes out to you, Brandon. You ran hard.
YouTube. Yes, absolutely. We're gonna hold on Joseph Grandy with him as the champion. We'll get the official points total in just a moment. Let's go to Victory Lane and talk with your winner, Dustin Sargent. Dustin, can you believe it?
No. Nope, that was time.
I saw you restart on the outside. I take the outside the entire way. Nobody else was going up top. Did you have a feeling that there were a lot of drivers that were concerned on fuel except for you?
I knew I was pushing it, but I figured I had enough. I finished with just under a half a gallon left, and then I figured that's why they moved down. So I was like, well, I'm going to go to the top and just see what happens, and that was the right decision.
Well, it's been a heck of a night for you so far. You won Raiders, you won Rebels. Are we going to see you go for the Triple Crown tonight?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to race up, so I got to some prior engagements I got to take care of. So.
Gotcha. Well, you end the season right. We look forward to seeing you in Rebels next season. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Give a shout out to Premier Racing Setups. Again, they had a crazy fast setup for the car, so just big shout out to those guys and a successful season.
All right, man, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the win. Great job all year long.
All right, thanks, Marty.
Big money, Dustin Sargent, our winner tonight. But now we go to the champion, Joseph Grandy, who is also your hard charger of the night. 100 grand, you finally won your first championship on Monday Night Madness. How does it feel?
Feels pretty good. I feel like it's been a long time coming. The end of the race was kind of funny. Me and Brandon were looking like, we got about 2.5 laps left of fuel. Then the first caution came out. They're like, uh-oh. We got about 2 laps worth of fuel left. The second caution came out. And then, unfortunately, he ran out right at the finish line. I ran out about coming into turn 1. But, I'll come home with a second any day.
Detmer was just telling us the exact same thing as well. But let's go back and look at this season. What will you remember the most about it? Obviously, you and Jeff Fitzpatrick had a great war in the first half of the season, but then the second half of the season, it was just all you pulling away from the competition.
Yeah, honestly, 10 races, 10 top 5s, 4 wins. I'll probably never have that good of a season ever again. But a lot of good races.
Season, that's for sure.
I had a lot of good comebacks, a lot of luck, obviously. So, nope, did you lose me?
Absolutely. Well, I got you. I'm on an audio delay. My CPU's acting up on me for some reason. But as we head into this, as we head into the summer season, without question, I bet you we're gonna see you in Renegades next year. How excited are you for that?
I'm pretty excited. Obviously, the competition's stiffer. It's just gonna make me better. But for now, got to look forward to Thursday. Got 2 championships to try to defend, and hopefully can do it.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Towing and Repair. The guys over at Training Wheels Racing. Appreciate you, Marty, for doing the broadcast, coast to coast. All their sponsors, all the guys behind the scenes, and my girlfriend, Olivia.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Congratulations on a hell of a season, man. Great job.
Thanks.
Congrats on the championship, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Joseph Grandy, your champion in the Rebels division. There you see the cushion cam right there. That's how much that cushion's so thick you can sit on it. Here's a look at your top 12 drivers or top 13 rather from tonight. Dustin Sargent with the win, Joseph Grandy second, Brandon Dittmer third, Steven Spees fourth, Dan McLaren fifth, Cody Graham sixth, Steve Bixler seventh, John Rayner eighth, Steve Maurer ninth, 10th Rich Holland, 11th Mike Cranmer, 12th Jesse Bandy, and 13th Connor Ross. Now, just a heads up for all the viewers watching at home, we're the ones that are just about to join. We will have to go away just temporarily, and the reason why is because I need to restart my computer because we're having a weird little glitch on it. So we'll go black for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll get the advertisements aired up, and then we'll get back rolling with our Renegades portion of the program. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Race fans, a shower of big block power. Let's ride! Race fans, a shower of big block power. Let's ride!
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Olsen, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Ready to go with the Renegades, brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Marty Scala with you alongside Zach Chapman. Zach, we are getting set to go, and it's a big one coming on up.
Yeah, it is. Got to wonder if my long-lost relative there, Blake Chapman, can find enough positions to get it done tonight. Or, you know, if he's going to have to hang on to second and give it to, who is that? I believe Ross is the point leader. My phone just
Patrick
shut down.
Spangler is the current points leader.
Oh, Patrick Spangler. That's right. Ross is fighting for third.
Yeah,
that's right.
Let's show you the points coming on in. And it is a Spangler with a 16-point advantage over Blake Chapman as we enter the season finale. Now, the worst finishes for Spangler and Chapman, those have already been put in place, 16th and 20th. 7th and 12th have not been put in place yet, so they have to finish better than those positions to gain points tonight. If they don't, they will actually lose points in the standings towards their total of what you see on simracerhub.com. So as we look at things per the point standings, if Patrick Spangler actually, yep, we've got him. If Patrick Spangler finishes 8th or better, actually 7th or better, he wins this championship. If not, we could have something in. We could be in for an upset here tonight. But we are ready to go. First heat of the evening, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Here's a look at your starting lineup. On the front row, 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Next to Gentleman Jack Hitt, he's in the 217. Row number 2 is Soupy, is the Brew to Beast, Dan McClare, the Brew to Beast, Jeff Barker in car number 513, and Soupy, Dan McLaren in the 88. Row number 3 is the High Side Banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and the Bass Man, Roger Craig in the 747. Rounding out the field this evening is the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161, and the Outlaw, Preston Cranmer in the 07. From the looks of it here so far tonight, Zach, I couldn't get an official car count, but everyone will make the feature tonight.
Yeah, if my count's right, it's looking like 22 cars. So, yeah, we're going to have everybody tonight. And the pill draw was not good to Mr. Spangler or Mr. Chapman. So, we're going to have an interesting night of racing here as we go green.
However, though, Jeff Barker and Dan McLaren have to start from the tail. So, Spangler is on the inside of row number 2.
Very good point, Marty. That just might be the medicine the doctor ordered there for Patrick to sew up the championship. We'll have to see.
We'll see what happens here for heat race number 1 as we're underway. Off of turn number 2, Joseph Grandy gets the start. Patrick Spangler second. Wild racing, though, from 4th on back. There are 3 wide somewhere there, Zach, with Preston Grammer stuck in the middle. We watch the race for the 4th position. Roger Craig and Jeff Barker. That's a good one. Craig gets away with the advantage, but Spangler all over the 518 to Grandy, the Rebels champ and the possible Renegades champ here, Zach.
Yeah, it's hard to root against Grandy after that impressive run he had in the feature, but Patrick is fast right now. It looks like he's running a 410.
The high side banger looks for the slider up on the 518. He gives Grandy some room. 15:44 last time by, or rather 15:53 last time by for Patrick Spangler as he clears Grandy for the points lead. This is one of Spangler's favorite tracks. Why? Because you know what I say. He's where the high side is. He has won the Knoxville Nationals charity event at this track in the past, so will be a threat. Let's watch out for some other racing. Craig, Barker, and McLaren. This is for P4 here, Zach. This is a great race happening.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like you said, everybody's making the show tonight, but you know as well as I do, feature spot is everything. There's a reason those guys are fighting hard, so you do not want to have to go through the soup here.
That's for sure. As Landis looks to clear up on Craig and Barker despite them being side by side. Desert Demon has lost some ground. 2 laps to go. Oh, that's tight. Jeff Barker hanging on for dear life. What a save for the Birds and Beasts. But Craig up the track, really loose entering turn 3. What a save that the best man makes. 1 lap to go. Patrick Spangler just about a second advantage on Joseph Grandy. You know he's going to finish in the top 2. Let's watch the race for 3rd between McLaren and the Brood to Beats. Off at turn 4, Soupy's got the advantage, and McLaren takes 3rd. And a photo at the end. Was that Craig over Cranmer? No, it was Barker over Landis, and a great finish at the end. But it's Patrick Spangler that wins heat race number 1. We move to heat 2. Heat 2 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Kyle Sargent and Jeff Kemper make up row number 1. Row number 2, the captain, Gary Taylor, and the 36 of Barry Goldner. Row number 3 is the boss, Ross Carina and Jeff Flero in car number 200. Rounding out in heat race number 2, Bob DeGood in car number 7.
Looks like there's a lot of fast guys in this one, Marty. They're getting ready to roll off. Who do you got?
This one's a pretty good one. None of our championship contenders are in this one. A lot of good names. Kyle Sargent up there. Always watch out for Ross Carina, who normally drives the Phantom Motorsports number 10. Jeff Flero always a threat on the outside line too. A lot of good drivers ready for this one. We'll go green next time by. You see as well, something I'm noticing that I haven't seen a lot of yet, that we've seen less of compared to the Rebels. That low line not really slickened up yet. But ready for the green flag. Winner starts outside of row number 1. As we're underway for heat 1. Sargent brings the field off of turn number 2. Carina and Kemper side by side for second. The boss already up 3 positions from the starting lineup. He may go for lead here off of turn 4. As it's Sargent and Carina wing to wing entering turn 1. Sargent had the advantage in corner entry. What about corner exit? Still belongs to the 91, but Carina does not give up on that bottom side, that's for sure, Zach.
Nah, he's showing that if you stay disciplined and you run it in hard, but you don't get in that slick, and you stay on that tack on the bottom, you let that left rear eat, and the bottom's still there. You can get it done.
Corinna quickest that last time by to 15.87. Sargent decides to swap back up. Kemper runs third. Jeff Flero fourth. Bob DeGood is fifth. Barry Goldner sixth. Gary Taylor seventh. And everyone who makes the show here tonight at Knoxville Raceway. DeGood up on the cushion. Does this play into his favor just yet? He's got to move here. Oh, look out! Kemper slammed the door right in his face, and it just paid badly for both of them. Kemper with a wild spin. DeGood taking the worst impact of it all. And that is not a sprint car anymore there, Zach. That's a midget.
Yeah, and it looks like Jeff's still trying to get around the track to try to save a position, but he's broke. It looks like he's pulling off, going to try to get in the pits here.
We still have the race for the lead. Kyle Sargent up on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies with 2 to go. Corinna slams the door right in his face, decides to diamond 1 and 2. Sargent looks for a run underneath. Just wants to be patient right now and force Corinna into making a mistake. Takes a peek underneath off at turn number 4. White flag is out from Barney. 1 lap to go, Zach.
Yeah, you just want to grab those guys by the neck and tell them to settle down. They got a whole bunch of room behind them and fight again in the feature, but both these guys want to win.
Sargent decides to knock over the slider line. He decides to counter it back off turn number 4. This could be a photo finish to the end of the line. Corinna takes it by a 10th over Kyle Sargent. Flero third, Barry Goldner fourth, Gary Taylor fifth, DeGood sixth, Kemper seventh.
Yeah, I think Kyle went for the smart play there. Knew he had second locked up, good feature spot, and was just going to try for the hard turn off and get him on exit rather than the risky slider there.
We now move on to heat race number 3, brought to you by Venom Racing, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. The detective Steven Spees on row number 1 next to Superman and Kurt Schatzer. John Hine the Professor and Tyler Wilson the Macho Man in row number 2. Randy Shreves in the 56 next to Chad Cote. That's row number 3. And Blake Chapman, the salesman, the second championship contender, has a lot of work to do tonight if he wants to win this championship, because he has to come for the back in his heat race, and he has to deal with Spangler on pole position here, Zach.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you know, if you're in this series, you're good. No question about it. But Blake having to start in 7th here, not getting any gimmies with EOLs or anything. This is a tough one. You're going to see what he's got right here.
Chad Cote was right. This is a stacked heat. You got Spees, Schatzer, Hine, Wilson. Every driver here is good in this Renegades division.
Yeah, any single one of these guys could win a feature. And if you look at the race report the next day, nobody would be shocked. This is the cream of the crop. This is a really tough draw, and we're about to get a heck of a show here, Marty.
Field makes their way down the back chute, passing the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum. Don't forget, we're doing a coast-to-coast meetup at the Knoxville Raceway this August for the Nationals. I'm looking forward to that. Zach, will I see you there?
You know, I've been asked about it by my teammates. We'll have to see what's going on. I really want to get to that F1 race in Vegas, so we'll have to see.
I considered going. That's too much. I'd rather do Knoxville over F1. Plus, if I'm going to F1 near me, Canada's the easy trip to go. But heat number 3 underway. And Spees has the slight advantage over Schatzer. Cote bounces off the wall, just barely in 5th position. Spees up the racetrack he goes. Schatzer on the binders. Oh my goodness! Holy cow! Chad Cote with probably a wilder flip than he had at Lernerville Speedway about a year ago.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for Wilson to check up there. Wilson had to check up or he was going to run over Schatzer, and then he just ran over Wilson's right rear and went for a heck of a run.
That's one of the wildest flips I've ever seen in this league. Just watching the brief replay. My goodness. How many rotations was that in the air? We'll have to take a look after this heat race while we have fun. Everyone curly nose to tail, hanging up on the cushion, dancing with the devil. No one seems to want to take a risk down the middle until now. Wilson wants to dive in the corner and see if that pays off for the number 042 here. A couple drivers bouncing off the wall. One of them, Blake Chapman. When you look at Blake Chapman as well, he's only up 2 spots here, Zach, and we only have 3 laps to go. It'll be a lot of work for Blake if he wants to pull off the upset tonight.
Yeah, Blake is really good, but he's got 4 smart, and right as I say that, they're throwing sliders for second. I was about to say he got 4 smart drivers who know they're going to transfer, but we'll have to see if Blake can run them down here while the battle.
Remember, Blake Chapman's worst finish that he's yet to drop this year is a 12th place finish. Where Blake Chapman would start for the feature would be 15th, even worse than 12th. So the white flag is out. We watch the 3 wide race for second. John Hine, Tyler Wilson, and Kurt Schatzer. Steven Spies comes out of this one with a W, but what about P2 at the end? Hold on to your seats, folks. Oh, it's about to get crazy at the end. Hine and Schatzer finish 5th and 6th, and John Hine finishes the heat race without a top wing.
Yeah, that was going to be interesting to see because I noticed Blake was falling off a little bit at the end. I think he was, I started to think of that strategy myself. I think he was maybe going to try to go for that hard charger 5-point bonus, but that crash at the line, he gained 2 more spots. So he's going to start up higher than that now. He's got his work cut out for him.
Chad, I'm sorry. I know you're watching this right now. It's time to have some fun with the goose. First off, look at the air time. Look at how much air he got in this frame. That's a Kodak moment right there, ladies and gents. We're about to see the rotation. So he front end caught the fencing. There's 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that air. Holy cow. 8.5 bounces off the wing. That's 8.5 flips for the goose. And we're going to take a vote on the Coast to Coast Racing League Lounge later tonight. If I remember to make a post, someone text me to remind me to make the post on it. We'll do a wildest ride comparison. Chad Colte's wilder flip. Was it Lernerville when he went boating? Or was it just moments ago tonight? And never forget, though, the Lernerville moment where we made the not top 10 on iRacing.
As cool as that was, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Championship night.
Nah, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
You gotta wonder too, what's going through Spangler's head? We got 30 seconds here until they have to grid up, and starting out front, point leader. I mean, it's there for him. He's just gotta go get it.
Absolutely. And we'll see what goes down in just a bit. Patrick Spangler, the quickest in warm-ups by about 800ths on Chad Cote. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Extreme E-Speed TV, the Coast to Coast Racing League, Osh Weekend Speedway, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you so much for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. It's now time to meet the field of 22 drivers ready to take the green for 35 laps at Knoxville. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, it's the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, next to Ross the Boss Carina. Row number 2, the detective, Steven Spies, the 55, and 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row 3, Kyle Sargent in the 91, and the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson in the 42. Row 4, Dan McLaren, Soupy's in the 88, and Jeff Flero in the 200. Rounding out the top 10 this evening, Randy Shreves in the 56, and the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 6 is Barry Goldner in car number 36. And the Salesman, the second championship contender, Blake Chapman in the 20. Row 7 is the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. And the captain, Gary Taylor, in the 34. Row 8, the Professor, John Hine in the 71. And the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. Row 9 is Jeff Kemper in the 181. And Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 18. Row number 10, the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer in car number 07, and Bobby Good in the 7. Rounding out the field this evening, Chad Cote, the Goose in the 11, and Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. All righty, Zach, I want to know who's your pick to win tonight.
I think, he's out here, wants to solidify the championship. It's the easy pick. Yeah, you got to pick Patrick Spangler. Nobody runs the high side better than him, and this high car count, it's gonna be top dominant the rest of the way. He's gonna let it eat.
Gonna be very tough to take him down, that's for sure. Well, folks, on this Memorial Day, we hope you remember the men and women that sacrificed their lives to give us the freedom that we have today in the United States. Also set for championship night as well. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, the season finale for the Renegades, and it's showtime in Knoxville. Star of the race tonight brought to you by Lucy Olson. Ross Coretta wants the race lead early on Patrick Spangler, perhaps. Off at turn number 4, it's Spangler that leads lap 1, 3 wide for about 5th on back. With Steven Spees, he's sandwiched in the middle. As the flames fly here at Knoxville, Flero and Sargent race wing to wing for 4th position. But it's Spangler with the lead after 2 laps, Zach.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to beat Spangler tonight. He got that great restart. And, I mean, you definitely can't count out Corinna, though. He's in that 3rd place points battle, so every point matters to him, so he wants that win.
Ross Corinna, though, wants the lead on Patrick Spangler early. Takes a peek underneath. Corinna sets up the slide job. Corinna goes to the point. But now Spangler wants to set the slider back. A 16:39 last time by for Ross Corinna. Best lap of the race. Patrick Spangler wants to put that down lower. It's like limbo at the moment, but Corinna leads in the line. That's big in case a yellow flag were to fly, Zach, right now.
Yeah, he got a huge run out of 3. I thought they were going to throw sliders for a couple more laps, but Ross really showed Patrick how to get it done.
Oh, Spangler rode the wall in turns 3 and 4. A close call for the number 39, who pretty much owns the Knoxville Raceway. Remember, it's 7th or better, and Spangler wins the championship. And he rides the wall. He's got damage. He's got front wing damage. Steering may have been off on the 39. And Corinna opens up a 1.3 second lead, and Jeff Flero starts to attack for P2, Zach. And the caution is out.
Caution, that couldn't have been at a better time for Spangler. He needs to use this. He needs to swerve back and forth, make sure his steering's okay, because if it's not, he has enough time to pit here and still compete for this championship.
Chad Cote's got a midget all ready for the Chili Bowl. Here's what happened. It was a 3-car accident. Watch Kemper here. Or rather, it was Cote who hooked with Jack Hitt. Ooh! And Kemper took the worst look of it all, and then Cote just started flipping like a top. It's right on
yeah, lucky enough to land back on the wheels, though, and get that quick repair, so he's still got time to get something done. Fortunate enough for that.
For sure, absolutely. What a ride. Gary Spangler watching, rooting on Patrick tonight. Hey, Gary, by the way, save some plans in 2 weeks from now if you're available. I will be at Marion Center and Knox with Rush. So if you're coming out, because I know you're a big fan of the Knox Raceway, not Knoxville, Knox Raceway, I will be there. He says, keep an eye out for Shark Racing in-car camera this week. Logan had a car land on his hood on lap 10 of the Lawrenceburg World of Outlaw show tonight. Dang, that's wild. He says, iRacing needs to update a format with the dash. I would love to see that. I mean, iRacing put it in World of Outlaws dirt racing. They've got the code to do it. Let's see it in iRacing. Why not?
So 22nd to 15th for Cote, up 7, and 12th to 6 for the guy in second in points, Blake Chapman. He's coming hard.
How about that? What a start for the salesman. He wants that championship bally, and he may know that Patrick Spangler got the wall thanks to Tyler Wilson. And if he does, that may motivate Chapman a little bit. Now let's see here. You see the right front just a little bit bent on Spangler. It shouldn't be too much, though, to slow his car down, as we're going to watch for the Young Gun Creations blimp for this restart. Corinna holds serve on Spangler, sends it in to get up to the cushion. You've got Flero and Wilson. Just about wing to wing for third. Bad restart from Chapman. He fell back to 7th. Spangler wants the lead on Corinna. They're trading slide jobs once again in Knoxville. This is what the fans come to watch. Corinna sends it in once again. Flero rounds out the podium. Here goes Spangler once again underneath for the race lead. Slide job once again. And a counter back from Ross Corinna, who takes the lead back once more, Zach.
Just when you think he's going to settle down and try to sew up that championship lead, he goes back for the lead. Patrick wants it, and he is showing why he is the point leader.
He wants that win. That's what he wants. You know what Takuma Sato said, even if you're in a championship fight, no attack, no chance. Cote just wrecked again, and even in a heavy crash once again. Jack Hitz got a wing off, and Chad Cote, that is 3 flips for him tonight. It has not been a pretty night to be a goose.
No, and he's in that points battle trying to get third there from Ross, so unfortunate for him.
In the back of the pack, Randy caught the wall, collects Cote and hit. Ooh, and McLaren launches hit for a wild ride. Let's ride on board here with Gentleman Jack Head. Catches McLaren, and then he's just on for it. That left front just dangling. The tether bar still hanging in. There you see the Knoxville Raceway. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what that place looks like in real life in August. Can't wait to get that off my bucket list.
Now, Marty, I don't want to jinx anybody or, put the hex out there, but how many people do you think watched that last race and made sure they had enough fuel in? Because we're getting a couple cautions here.
I have a feeling a lot of people took notes. That reminded me a lot of the charity Knoxville Nationals we had when it was John Helms and Patrick Spangler for the win. Helms had a huge lead, but then ran out of gas. Patrick Spangler passed and took the lead. Then Spangler ran out of gas and coasted at the finish line. So one more restart. That's double file. 11 laps in the books. Patrick Spangler and Ross Corinna, row number 1. Jeff Flero, Tyler Wilson, row 2. Blake Chapman, Kyle Sargent, row 3. Steven Spees and Jeff Barker, row 4. Gary Taylor, John Hine round out the top 10. Biggest mover currently is the salesman. He's up from 12th to 6th. Barney's got the green in hand. Back at it once again. Great restart from Ross Corinna. Spangler holds on to second. Flero has third. Here's the race for fourth. Sargent clears Tyler Wilson. Blake's got company from Steven Spees for sixth. The salesman has the preferred line. He hangs on to P6 for now. Tyler Wilson, meanwhile, underneath for the race lead on Jeff Flero, but it doesn't work. We go back up to the front of the field, where Wilson rides the wall, same with Spangler for just a moment. Good racing here off this restart. Spangler pressures Corinna, and a bad corner for Spangler. Corinna darts away. Kurt Schatzer has flipped it. Joseph Grandy is also involved. Caution is out. That will likely end both of their days. What happened here, Zach, from your perspective?
It looked like they got caught up in somehow Gary Taylor and I believe it was maybe Preston Cramner got together somehow going down the front stretch, and just they got caught up in it, nowhere to go.
Right on board with 100 grand, the Rebels champ. Bam. I will admit, too, this camera angle I just picked, I hit the wrong button, but that was a nice shot we had. That was off the left front suspension. So Joseph Grandy's night comes to an end, as he's already used his quick repair. And that puts 3 drivers out of the race, Grandy, Cote, and Het, with 14 laps in the books. Chad Cote bummed about his way trying to end the season.
Yeah, definitely a tough night for Cote, but he's a great driver, and he'll be back to battle for that championship next season for sure.
Gary says, come down for the Western PA Speed Week. Starts Wednesday and Sunday. Unfortunately, I cannot, and I actually have a good reason why. So, for those of you watching at home, Saturday, tune into Dirt Vision and watch the Land of Legends Raceway broadcast, because I will be pit reporting. I'll be doing Victory Lane interviews on Saturday night, so I'll be making my Dirt Vision debut. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be one heck of a time. So I got that happening Saturday, and then Sunday I'm going to hang out with a couple friends, so I will not be in town. But we're set for this restart here to put 14 laps up on the board, back to green. Corinna continues to ride the cushion, deciding not to go down to the basement. Spangler went down low, and Jeff Flero, though, he's a guy that's pretty good on that bottom groove. Make this a 3-car race for the lead here, Zach.
Yeah, Jeff, him and Terry Landis, they're a class of their own. They know how to hook that bottom, and he's showing those boys that you can still get it done down there.
He's won in the past in Renegades. His first win was at Fallujah. Spangler's got a problem. Spangler's off the pace.
Yeah, both leaders in the wall. Flero to the front.
And Jeff Flero goes to the point. Ross Corinna fell all the way back to the 5th position. Where's Blake Chapman? He's back in 7th, so he actually lost positions off the restart. He may grab 6th off of Jeff Barker and maybe even Ross Corinna. But Jeff Flero now leads at Knoxville, as we're just about halfway home. But Spangler was 3/10 better that last time by. Just look at this. This is unbelievable. Underneath for the race lead.
Ross is in the fence again.
Yep, and this could spin him out. Nope, he saved it. Corinna up on 2 wheels, and he's got damage. Look at this. Look at the right side. The toe link's out. Hines up in the wall as well. We watched the race for the lead between Flero and Spangler. Flero thought, hey, thanks, boys. I'll take it from here. But nope, Spangler still has a fast hot rod on that 39 Training Wheels racing ride.
Yeah, I don't know how he's still driving that thing, Marty, after making contact with the wall so many times. But Patrick is wheeling around right now, right on him.
I can't believe it either. Just tries to pressure the Glenn Steyer's Racing 200 into making a mistake. And he's right there, pulls up even.
Gonna get him here, Marty.
Did he lead him at the line? Did he beat him at the line there, Zach? I don't know.
No, it's showing him 2nd on the grid, so he's got to hope no caution comes out, because I think he's got him here.
But Flero could throw the slider. He decides not to go with the slider in 3 and 4. Very risky. You want to know why? Actually, still led the lap at the start-finish line. Now he slides up. He's got the lead, but look at the drive off Spangler has off at 2.
I'll tell you, I think Flero surprised himself and Spangler. Yeah, he's keeping it down there on the bottom in 4 again. He found something. Nobody had done that all race.
Either that or he made a wing adjustment to keep him out in front. Spangler just kept that baby on the throw. Oh, Flero sideways off for 2. Spangler with a chance underneath for the lead. And Flero on the high side. Spangler clips the apron, but he takes the lead away with 11 laps to go. But he's up on those BMX bumps, which they pay bad difference. Look at this, the salesman up on the top shelf. Nearly took it 3 wide. He's in the 5th spot.
Yeah, he knows time's running out. He's got to put himself in a position where if a caution comes out, he can go and put pressure on Patrick.
He needs some good luck to happen because Spangler's running away with it. 10 laps to go. 0.8 of a second gap on Flero to Blake Chapman. It's 3.4 seconds. So you watch that race for the bottom step of the podium. 4 cars all under a blanket for it. This is a great race to watch here, Zach.
Absolutely great
Oh
racing.
no, Blake got the BMX bumps and he's in trouble. Nearly spins the baby out.
Somehow he hung on to that and only lost 1 spot, but we'll have to see if the car's damaged, if he can hang on to it.
He fights Landis for 6. Steven Spieslow crashes. Oh my, he stuck up on the fence and the yellow's out. You rarely see cars stuck up on the fence like that. That's an NR 2003 moment there, Zach.
Yeah, it's really tough break for Blake there. It's a shame that couldn't, come a lap or 2 earlier, and he could have had that 4th spot back.
Ooh, Schatzer. Oh my goodness. What a ride for the detective. And he needs some clues to figure out what happened. Schatzer went for the slide job. Ooh, and it was wheel-to-wheel contact with the rear wheels, not rear to front. But Steven Spies probably got the best view of the chocolate chips.
Yeah, no, that's another one too. If you go into the rear chase camera, I'm not sure which one you were looking at, Marty, but for me, that's a big case of net code. I mean, Schatzer definitely didn't give him a lot of room, but they did not make contact.
So you look at the damage of Blake Chapman after what looked like he was going over whoops in Supercross. That's how bad it looked. How does the steering look? I think everything still looks up on the 20, which to me is very impressive and very durable. But there will be here 7 laps to go. We come back to the green flag. Spangler leads, Flero 2nd, Sargent 3rd, Tyler Wilson 4th, Jeff Barker 5th, Blake Chapman 6th, Terry Landis 7th, John Hine 8th, Roger Craig 9th, Preston Kramer, your biggest mover, up 9 spots. Patrick Spangler looking for his 4th Renegades Championship and trying to keep his crown from last year as we're back to green. Flero looks underneath. Go ahead, Zach.
I'm surprised Patrick opened up that bottom with the way he's seen Flero run, because in that long run, Patrick was the better car on the bottom. I think he needs to stay committed to that, and that's why he wins this race.
6 laps to go. Flero looks for a run underneath Don Spangler. He found something once again in 1 and 2. Better corner from the 200, and they stay side by side. Did someone just pull off in the pits? I don't think so. I saw a car disappear. I think he was just blinking. But Flero not giving up with 5 laps to go, looking to stun the high side banger at Knoxville. Jeff Barker and Tyler Wilson race for 4th. Go ahead, Zach.
Somebody fed Patrick some information there and told him to get back down to the bottom, because that's where he's good and that's where he needs to stay.
It's defense right now for Patrick Spangler. I bet you the high side banger is low side mirror driving. But Flero decides to switch back up to top. That helps the 39 pull away, but it doesn't. Yellow flag is out. and it's for Kurt Schatzer in the 200. Or the 218, rather.
Ross Corinna involved, too. So it's a shame
it's a
Cote
tough
had
break.
the night he did.
Here's a look. Ooh, caught the bump in turn 4 and just biked in. There's Corinna that gets a piece of the action. Schatzer's really lucky, though. His car did not roll over.
Yeah, I believe he was already caught up in one, though, and had to use that quick repair. So
Yep.
you got to wonder, you know, if he's going to be able to get back out there.
That car was going out there like a bucking bronco. Wild ride. So with 3 laps to go when we take the green flag, what are you thinking if you're Patrick Spangler right now at the moment? Because I think right now he's thinking about this win.
Yeah, I mean, running through his head, he's got to protect the bottom here in turn 1 and 2 if, you know, Flero gets a good restart, because they're not wound up. They're not up to speed yet. So that the beginning of 1 and 2 there, it's, you know, you're really slow on that high side on that first lap. So if I'm him, I throw that slider line in 1 and 2, let it eat on the way out, and then do whatever he's comfortable from there. But you got to protect in turn 1.
Going green this time by for a 4-lap shootout. Pace truck is in. Here we go. Spangler hangs that baby on the bottom on Flero's line. Blake Chapman still in the 6th position. Needs some luck on his side if he wants to win the championship. 2 laps to go for the high side banger. Flare up in the wall once again. Kyle Sargent with a chance at P2. Wilson decides to ride the cushion. Blake Chapman in 6th position. Bikes it on the cushion. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Patrick Spangler in the Training Wheels Racing number 39. Another incredible season, and through 3 and 4, Patrick Spangler is a 4-time Renegades champion in the Coast to Coast Racing League. He wins at Knoxville. Flero 2nd, Sargent 3rd, Wilson 4th, Jeff Barker 5th, and Blake Chapman comes home short, finishing 6th. But Patrick Spangler, the high side banger, is your Renegades champion for the 2023 spring season.
Yeah, starting out front helps, but anybody who threw anything at Patrick, he had an answer for it. That dude was lightning fast tonight, and he definitely earned that championship. Great run, Patrick.
Top 3 will pose for a photo. Kyle Sargent actually ran out of gas on the cooldown lap, so Jeff Barker gives him a push. And the point standings will update here in just a moment. We'll give you your official results. Patrick Spangler, the winner. Jeff Flero, 2nd. Kyle Sargent, 3rd. Tyler Wilson, 4th. Jeff Barker, 5th. Blake Chapman, 6th. Preston Cranmer, 7th. Dan McLaren, 8th. Terry Landis, 9th. John Hine, 10th. Randy Shreves, 11th. Barry Goldner, 12th. Bob DeGood, 13th. Ross Corinna, 14th. Roger Craig, 15th. Steven Speed, 16th. Gary Taylor, 17th. Kurt Schatzer, 18th. Jeff Kemper, 19th. Joseph Grandy, 20th. 21st, Chad Cote, 22nd, Jack Head. Check and see if Patrick did update the point standings. He's pretty quick at doing that. Not yet. We'll get the final tally when we talk with him. But just waiting on Kyle Sargent to come in. Then we can begin the post-race proceedings. But Zach, while we're at it, we had a great race tonight at Knoxville. All around. Great Rebels race, great Renegades race.
Yeah, couldn't ask for better racing. I mean, good, clean sliders up front. I don't think we saw anybody wreck anybody for the lead tonight. That's always good. Everybody gets to leave happy and feel like you really left your all out there on the track, and nobody shot you short. It was good racing tonight.
Absolutely. So we will talk with your top three. We've got Kyle Sargent in the waiting room. Let's bring him in. Kyle, a great run for you. You started 5th, stayed near the front, finished 3rd. Positives you take away from tonight?
Well, it took me all season to finally at least get a podium. I tell you what, moving up through all the rankings, these guys move at a different pace, and there's a lot more of them that are bad fast. So it's nice. It teaches you things. Looking forward to next season, hopefully stay in this league or in this division and continue to learn.
Did you think you had anything for Flair or even Spangler tonight, or not really?
It's tough to say because towards the end there we kind of went caution, few green laps, caution. I think during the long run, I think I was able to run fairly consistent laps. And it's one thing getting to their back bumper, but it's another thing trying to find a way around them. And when it's fast on the bottom and very treacherous up top, it gets tough. There wasn't a lot of traction in the middle to try and take advantage of something,
Absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
Just big shout-outs to Premier Racing Setups. They've given me great setups all season long. It's been driver error, and hope to improve and represent them a little better come next season.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Congratulations. Great year. We'll see you next season.
You bet, Marty. Thanks.
Kyle Sargent, our 3rd place finisher. Let's go to P2, and that is Jeff Flarrell. Jeff, oh, so close, man. I thought you were going to pull something off on Patrick. What more did you need?
Oh, definitely. I needed some more. He's good.
He definitely is good, that's for sure. Where did you... Go ahead.
That's why he's the champion.
Absolutely.
Consistently good.
For sure. What did you find on the bottom groove when you were racing Spangler for the lead? What did you find on the bottom groove that was working well? Was it moisture? Was it a top wing adjustment? What was it?
I was just hitting the pocket, especially a couple times in 1 and 2. I felt real good. But at the same time, I didn't want to push the envelope, being Patrick and is running for a championship as well. But I wanted to make it interesting, safely.
For sure, absolutely.
But I had nothing for him. He was fast.
Well, glad to see you get your best finish on the year, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Patrick on winning the championship, yourself, Marty, and Zach, Roger, his team, Sweetkin Speedway, and my wife, Karina, for allowing me to do this.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Congratulations. Great job.
Thanks, Marty. It's been a great season.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Jeff Flarrell, 2nd place finisher. The standings are final points tally, 724 to 697. For your winner, the high side banger and 4-time Renegade champion, Patrick Spangler. Patrick, how does this feel?
Pretty good. It felt pretty, I don't know how to say it, but getting in those walls earlier with Ross there, I was pretty close to going over there a couple times, so had to go down low.
Yeah, I got to ask you on that. When you hit the wall and fell off the pace, I think there were 2 times you fell off the pace. Was there any steering damage or no?
After the first time, no. The second time, going down straightaway, was like the steering wheel was at 1 o'clock, so it wasn't too bad hitting the bottom, and then the middle 3 and 4 just there wasn't much cushion there, and you could jump it pretty easy there. That's where it caught me and Ross. So I saw Flarrell a couple times. He was moving on the bottom. I was like, man, top's just not there tonight, I don't think. And I just tried the bottom, and I was able to get lower on exit than Flarrell the one time, and then I was able to control the restarts after that.
What do you take away from this season as a whole? I know some of your championship contenders had other plans in the rest of the year, but Blake Chapman, though, did not make it easy on you.
No, 16 points. I got that 2x early, so that's a 7-point swing there, and I figured he was going to get a hard charger, so I figured if he could come up and either win or finish top 3, and if I either wrecked or got more instant points, it would have been close. So got lucky there. Always good race with Blake. Wish the Bandy guys would have stuck around. Ross raced the whole season, but next season will be a whole new. Anybody could be the top guy then. Everything's changing, so get some tire wear in. Cushion, I think, is being reworked a little bit, and so it should be interesting.
Well, I can't wait to race with you guys on week 13. But before we head to week 13, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just a shout out to you always. Always put on the awesome broadcast. Roger for everything he does for the league. Train Wheels Racing. Dan will go back on watching. Wife let me sit down here every Monday through Thursday almost and race all the different divisions. And hopefully I can pull a late model championship tomorrow. I haven't had one of those yet, so hoping to pull that one off.
Best of luck to you on that, and best of luck to you in the modified championships as well. See you Thursday, all right?
Yep, sounds good, and good luck on the Rush Late Model Series the rest of the season, too.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Patrick Spangler, the high side banger, your Renegades champion this season. Zach, as we wrap things up, final thoughts on the year as you take a look at the cushion cam.
Final thoughts, Marty. I had a lot of fun doing this with you. If you ever have any openings next season, love to hop in and do it with you again. I hope you enjoyed my company, and I hope I didn't talk over you too much and step on the broadcast.
You're all good, man. It was a fun night working with you, and can't wait to do it once again. So, week 13, we will have some broadcasts for you. I'll be on the call for High Limit, and I believe as well. I can't remember what the Thursday championship is. I think it's the one on dirt and asphalt together, but don't quote me on that. But we're excited. Here's what's coming up the rest of the week, brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Tomorrow night, we have our Topside Tuesday championship race. We have Pro Late Models at I-55 and Truck Trail at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Wednesday night, the Hometown Heroes in Knoxville and the Late Model Cars Tour at North Wilkesboro. Thursday night, Thunder Crowns Champions at Knoxville for the small and big blocks, and then the Xfinity Trail at Sonoma. That does it for us here tonight. Time for us to go party at Dingus. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, Roger Craig, Preston Cranmer, all the fine drivers and sponsors. Shout out to my broadcast partner tonight, Zach Chapman. I'm Marty Sakala. Congrats to your winners tonight, Dustin Sargent and Patrick Spangler, and your champions, Dustin Sargent and the Raiders, Joseph Grandy and the Rebels, and Patrick Spangler and the Renegades. So long, everyone.